But in World War I, it was butter.
Like way better terminology. Anyway, the point is. Hi, everybody, and welcome to our IGN Global Battle, IGN US versus IGN UK. Later, we are going to be fighting against our AU team. Joining me today is Golden Boy. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, man. Super excited to be here, of course. We'll see how our competitors play out. It's going to be fun, though. Battlefield 1 right around the corner, so there's a lot of excitement, a lot of hype for it. And like you said before, we have a little global contest here between IGN UK and IGN US, of course. Freedom wins.
Yes.
I'm hoping for it.
I'm rooting for our team, obviously.
Yeah. No, we're not biased at all.
Well, we're all the same team here, but on the UK side, we have Daniel Krupa and Joe Screbbles. They're waving at us on Skype there. How are you guys doing in the UK?
Very well indeed.
They're doing well. They're ready to get stomped by the US team. They're having a good time. They're ready to go.
That's terrible. You're not not even just.
I am totally
bias.
rooting for the U.S. team, of course. On the U.S. team, we have Max Scoville, and James Duggan. How are you guys doing over there?
Pretty good. You know, the UK and the US weren't actually at war in World War I.
Yeah, we were on the same team. I don't know
Yeah.
if they got that part of the memo, but
What a semantics.
Not today. Not
Who
today.
cares? Not today. You
Today
guys are
it's
going to war.
all-out battle. Duggan, what loadout will you be using to start?
I'm using the medic because I'm slightly less proficient with the controller, so I'm going to rely on the automatic SL sweeper, as well as the revive syringe and a nice med pack for my whole team.
Nice. Max, what about you?
Probably just assault. I might mix it up because I'm kind of a scrub, so.
No faith in himself. No faith in himself.
Got it.
Should be fun.
Yeah,
Either way, right?
definitely.
I have a feeling our guys in the UK are feeling pretty good right now. So, we'll see. We'll see. I have a lot of faith in James, though.
Yeah, James is pretty good. He has some pretty impressive gameplay up on youtube.com/IGN of a few amazing kill streaks. That is our YouTube channel for those that don't know. So, what game mode are we starting with this morning?
Well, let me see here.
Looks like War Pigeons.
Yes, it will be War Pigeons on Sinai Desert. So Sinai Desert's actually a map that people had a chance to try out in one of the alpha phases for BF1. It is a fantastic map. In this particular section of the map, it's going to be more focused on some ground combat, right? Some infantry-focused combat. You're going to have a lot of doorways, a lot of terrain, a lot of that kind of stuff working in your favor. So I think overall this should be quite interesting, and we are going to be kicking things off here with Max's POV, and Max is going to be rocking that shoddy, looking to get a couple big hits there, and he's looking to work with his squad as best he can to make this work. Looks
like we picked up the Pigeon. Now, why don't you tell us, the people, a little bit about this game type?
Yeah, so War Pigeons is interesting because it's never been done in Battlefield before, right? As far as like the concept of the game type. In World War I, soldiers would send carrier pigeons with messages so that they could get over to the to like backup defense artillery, the generals and whomever it may be. Like, hey, we're being bombarded here. We need some support. So essentially, the concept is you run up to the point of which you have to send a note out. And once you do that, so think of it a little bit like if you want to compare it to other game types, and it's, keep in mind, a fusion of multiple game types.
Yes.
It's kind of like a little oddball from Halo mixed with a little bit of like, I guess you could say like hard point, from like Titanfall, where you just want to like capture and hold an objective, and then this way you will be able to send the objective out, and artillery will rain down on your opponents.
And you actually write a letter?
You physically write a letter. Yeah, that is it's like I said, it's never been done before. So if you stand still, like in most things in life, you'll do it a little bit faster.
Yeah.
So if you move, guess what? The letter might come out a little sloppy.
Yeah.
And it'll take longer to write. But it seems like our squad here, they're kind of just right now they're just messing around.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of messing around, getting used to the game type. Look at those weather effects. Battlefield 1 looks absolutely stunning. I am very, very impressed with what they have managed to do graphically.
Yeah.
This is running on an Xbox One right now, for those watching and wondering.
Yeah, I've played it on every platform, and it's impressed me across the board. I'm more of a console guy, although I do play BF1 on a PC quite a bit, especially BF1 because the game is just awesome and it looks incredible. And there's some tricks you can do on PC too that you can't really do with a controller. So I like to try and mess around with that. But yes, the game, it's fun across the board. It looks great across the board. It's really shocking just how much they were able to get out of this game.
Taking a look at Hunk McChunk, a.k.a. James Duggan over there. He managed to get a kill, I saw, which was quite impressive, seeing he said he was a medic. I think you're supposed to help the people, Mr.
No,
Duggan.
not at all. Not in Battlefield. You shoot 'em.
Not in Battlefield.
Not in Battlefield.
And it looks like the weather has actually let up, so we get a look at the map and just sort of what they managed to do here with the different cycles of the weather system.
Yeah, and I think they are going to be in the process of writing the letter. I really hope that we can get like James or Max at some point in time to write the letter, because I do want people to see like the act of getting the objective. But now James is going to find someone in front of him, but it seems like his team is just going to make quick work of him. That's going to be easy. So now let's see if he does his medic duties, and he does.
He
so
did.
Helps out Maximus Scoville. What a name.
Yeah.
My
They
goodness.
both have great names. I like Hunk McChunk.
I like.
Maximus Scoville, though, was a good play on his name also. So we were talking about this off the air, but what would you write in the letter?
I would-
Artillery strike now.
Dank memes. Artillery strike.
Yeah.
Kappa.
Heart smiley face.
That's
Definitely.
those are some of the things. I would basically be like, PogChamp, oh no, send help, and then probably like Bible thump, and then just shoot it away. And that's actually what I would do. That's it right there.
Oh, it looks like we're actually going to get some combat here in a second. I did see an enemy combatant on the battlefield.
Yeah, I'm sure James did as well. But there is going to be someone right around the corner there, and James will not be able to pick up the kill. Meanwhile, Max, he's shooting over some of those rockets there.
Using his anti-tank weapon there.
Yeah, and it's a great weapon to use because obviously, you get, while you're limited in mobility, it does do a sizable amount of damage as far as, just AoE, right? Just doing damage all around. And look at Max here.
Ooh,
Can't
good hit,
do
Max,
anything
good
with
hit.
that. It's caught with that trench shotgun. Sad face for Max. It's okay, though.
The U.S. team did pick up the Pigeon, however, so that will give us a slight advantage. It is interesting that each team can just pick up the Pigeon and then
I just
make
imagine you
it
pick
bid
it up
to
and you
their
just
will.
chuck it into the air,
Yeah.
and just hope it learns to fly.
You can throw it around like a hot potato.
Exactly, right? So now, in this particular situation here, Max is better off as he is right now. Nice shot there on Shepperson. Hold that one. It's just a good play to kind of ditch that shotgun in this particular instance and
Play the
honestly,
long-range game.
Yeah, if you're playing assault, you have a lot of options with your submachine guns. But I think like this is a pretty good setup, especially considering that they're going to be on the move. And there you have it.
Victory.
They're going to take the first one. First one kind of went unopposed. Everyone
Yeah.
was kind of like getting their bearings together. Okay, but
Definitely.
ended up working out pretty well.
Let's cut to a reaction shot from the UK team who just lost. Guys, how do you feel?
Well, we're feeling patriotic. We're going to try and overcome this. Stiff upper lip, isn't it?
This is going to help us with morale for the next match.
Yeah, that's it. It's very much going to keep us going.
All right. They did bring up the flags that could give you help with your next match.
We've got
We'll
so
be
much
hopping
stuff
into them
down
in just
here.
a second.
We've
I
got
think
so many props.
Honestly, the
You don't even
flags.
know.
It's a good touch.
The flags, it's
They're a
very
good
nice.
touch,
It's very, very nice.
Let them know who they're fighting for. Queen and country.
Daniel Krupa is known for our other series, Prepare to Try, where he drinks a lot of alcohol and watches other people play Dark Souls. He actually has the figurine. He was hoping I would do the call out. That is absolutely lovely.
She lives.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, of course, it's looking pretty good so far for our U.S. team here, Destin.
Yeah,
but
I felt pretty confident.
I feel,
felt pretty confident going in.
honestly they went largely unopposed in like the first like couple minutes there.
Mm-hmm.
So we did what we always do best. We take advantage of our opportunities.
Yeah.
And because of that, we were able to pick off that victory. But we're getting ready for our next matchup here, so we'll be jumping into that in a little bit. I believe it will be War Pigeons again. They're just going to continue to cycle through. But we will play another game type as well. We'll be playing Domination later on today. For those of you guys new to Battlefield, Domination, pretty simple game type. You have A, B, and C objectives. B is your neutral objective. You essentially just want to control all the objectives and get all the points. So
Definitely.
very simple game type.
This was some of the early gameplay that a lot of people saw and got to experience, where you actually have to hold the points and then fight enemy combatants as they come in. A lot more frantic action in this game mode because you can clearly see where the enemies are, and then you can get together as a group, head out, and really dominate that point. should you choose to. Or you can just capture one of the other points.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see Domination a little bit later today, but seems like we're going to be going to War Pigeons in San Quentin Scar, which is another map, actually the first map that people had a chance to see
Yep.
for Battlefield 1, which probably one of my favorite maps in the game. It really has everything you could possibly want in a Battlefield map. It has excellent opportunities for tank combat. Of course, we won't be doing that here, considering that this is a more infantry-focused game type, but it also has excellent routes for infantry-focused combat as well. And in the section that we're playing on War Pigeons, there's a lot of terrain options, as you see here. Players starting to group up right by that windmill, but the action's getting hot and heavy around there, and Max is able to pick up a kill there with a shotgun. We should check him out.
Yeah, Max had a drop on that guy. James Duggan is looking good as a corpse there.
As a corpse.
Yeah, he's hopping back in, though. Looks like he's with Tie Guy Travis,
Not bad.
friend of
not bad.
IGN.
And a good job with the gas grenade too. You know, if you're not careful, the gas grenade, especially if you're at low health, could really do some damage to you, and it'll damage you fairly quick. So you always have to be mindful of that. If you're thinking about, hey, you know what, I think I should survive this green smoke. Chances are you probably won't. But the worst thing you could do is coming out of there, not checking your corners is the worst thing you could do as a Battlefield player. See that guy right there? He just got absolutely dominated.
Yeah.
And that's because
Well, there's
he went
3
for-
enemies right there.
Yeah, you just got to look at your mini map, check your corners, make sure no one's around there, or you'll pay the price.
Switching back to Duggan, he's playing it a little more careful. He is holding back, trying to avoid enemies when he can, and then he runs right into one right around that corner. You were talking about checking your corners. There are a lot of straight lines in this map with a lot of different entryways that you can get hit from. So you do definitely have to be careful.
Yeah, and the UK team seems to have possession of the pigeon, and they are going to be writing their note now. And I can't believe those are things that I'm saying as I cast games. But you know what? I've been doing this for so long that in some capacity, you just kind of hear it all.
Yeah.
You
Get
know,
in there, write the note,
and
write the
again,
note faster.
It sounds like a weird game type, but it is so historically correct for the era, right? Like just what it means, right? What these people did back in World War I. And just a side note, I kind of go through the Battlefield 1 Reddit quite a bit, and it's always really cool to see people share World War I imagery and just notification, or not notification, it was a notification, he picked up the pigeon, but imagery and stories and all that stuff of World War I. And you kind of just like realize, like, this game nails a lot of those elements that I think a lot of people kind of just thought was lost to time, which is pretty cool.
Definitely. This seems like an interesting strategy. The whole team is in this silo. It's not going very well for the UK team as the whole US team just is making their way up the stairwell there and wiping them out. Some war bombs.
Honestly, I can't believe that our U.S. players were able to stay alive, because one well-placed nade and that was it. But look at James, the Hunk McChunk, moving in there, giving him the business right now.
Yeah, and there's the grenade you were just talking about. It's only going to take one well-placed one.
Oh, misjudged shot, please. Just ran in there and gutted her. That was not fair. But they do have possession of the pigeon, so they have released the pigeon. Now the artillery will come through, and a flame trooper kit has been located. So let's see if our players can find it. And there it is right there. So they can pick up. Oh, please, James, get the flamethrower.
Looks like he's going for it. They are nuking that tower, though.
Yeah, and they are still inside of that tower, keep in mind. So this is, here we go. James has the flamethrower. Oh my God, this is going to be awesome. So I never get to pick this up when I play, because
So you're excited.
some jerk always manages to take it before I get a chance. Break it.
Well, now he just needs to find a baddie.
I know, right? Well, the good news is they'll be by that objective.
UK team at a disadvantage because while they write the letter, they have to add U's to words like color. So it will take longer to write their note.
And they, instead of saying movie, they say cinema.
Yeah.
You know?
So a few more letters there, I think, maybe. Cinema,
just,
movie. Yeah.
I don't know. I just had to think of the one I have a lot of British friends who would be very angry with what I just said. Actually, it's funny. I was talking to someone the other day, and he was like, "Hey, are they going to send me a check?" And he spelled it CHEQU or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "No, they're going to send you a check, CHECK." And My friend's like, actually, and then he sends me like a dictionary.com like definition of it. Look at this.
We
here.
have to comment on this.
Squad wipe, man, just
Wow.
absolutely ran through him. James is on
Dominating
fire.
with that flamethrower.
Wow.
On
That was a
fire
good
or
one.
setting people on fire. And this
One or the other. Good job, man. That was really good. That was really good. And now they're writing their letter. Be careful though, because the fire will burn the paper. Heyo. I'm feeling good about my dad jokes today.
Yeah.
Feeling stupendous.
Dad jokes all day.
So basically, what you're
Oh,
going to get
my
here
goodness.
at IGN, folks. Yeah. So right now, this
Wow,
is basically
Duggan
a
is on a
mollywop.
tear.
This is like not good at all. They have to stop him. He has 44 health left. He's been dominating them with this flamethrower. Absolutely insane, and he's getting healed right now. This domination will never stop.
Yeah. We released the pigeon.
Now, what happens when you do a flamethrower by the pigeon?
Yeah, right?
Becomes, a delectable meal. If you're into that kind of thing, I don't know. I don't know how far I could take this.
Wow. He's still going.
He's still going, man.
He is unstoppable.
And the other thing too, I believe if
Oh,
a
this might be
support, this is insane, performed 10 kills with the flame trooper. He has been pretty much on a spree here. This is insane. So what I believe, if a support restocks him, he'll regain his incendiary nades. So again, he can keep this domination going for a long time, and the range on that flamethrower is absurd too. I'm excited.
Enemy
for
does
this.
have the pigeon though. Does this mean that they're going to be able to have a impressive comeback?
Oh no!
Oh, they got
so
the
many
drop
of
on
them
him
in
now.
front.
Oh no!
They do not have the drop on him. They
Oh,
are getting
wow.
roasted right now. Oh man, dare I say that flame trooper is lit.
Oh wow, that was pretty good.
That's right.
That was
That's
pretty
right.
good.
Everyone in the chat right now hates me. They hate me so much. He's coming. He's coming for him. He knows.
I don't know if they're going to be able to stop him. Will he be able to go the entire match?
But right that
with
little faster,
flamethrower?
boy. Oh no! Burn him! Oh,
Oh,
they got him!
there! They got him
But
finally.
he ends up
But
falling, though.
Yes, he did get the person writing for the pigeon.
Yep, no worries.
Max,
That was awesome.
Max, how is Max doing? Looks like he's falling back a little bit.
Hey, at some point you kind of just need to just say, let's let James do the work.
Max, how do you feel about this match?
My mic doesn't work, so I can't talk to my team, but otherwise pretty good.
You guys seem to be doing quite well for the U.S. rep.
We use a complicated series of sign language hand signals, so
Yeah.
it's going pretty well, I think.
Oh God, shoot that rocket down there. Nice. Good job. So that particular house in front there, the house provides some good vantage points for you to look over if you're able to take like a rifle up there. Second story has some good windows that overlook one of the main streets. So again, pretty good stuff. And I can't believe that you got seven points on a hit there. Shotguns don't shoot that far, or won't pick up a kill there. But look at that there. You just saw that bomb landing right down, and oh my goodness, it is just
I don't know
pretty
how
much
he's
falling all
surviving
over
right
the
now.
place.
The building is coming down all around them.
Yeah, this is not looking good. But Max is going to be
Ooh,
right
Max.
in front, finds one,
Cleaning
looking
up.
for a double perhaps. Teammate's going to be there for the assist, and they're able to clear that one out. Not bad so far from our U.S. team here.
That's one thing I love about Max. He has his game face. He tells a few jokes. He's definitely taking this seriously.
That man stole my bird.
Super serious. I see from here his armpits are just very sweaty at this point. And I don't know if that was from the run this morning to work or if that was just the general excitement here. But sweaty pits, it's a problem there, Destin.
Definitely the excitement. I mean, how could you not get excited watching buildings crumble all around you and your teammates set people on fire?
Pretty much. And now they have, if he can run it, he can actually pop a
He's not
couple
doing
of
so
them.
bad.
Yeah, and sometimes when you come around those corners there, just for anyone who's interested in playing more with a shotgun, like it's okay to shoot from the hip. You don't have to go full aim mode there. Keep in mind, right, when you do that, while I think like there's many ways where one could say like, oh, but it's better, you get a steadier aim, you get the focuser shot more. But the shotgun just, if you're able to strafe more and fire from the hip, you'll do a significant amount of damage. It's better, obviously, to aim in if you're looking to hit someone from a certain range, but you want that hip fire, especially when Max was in that very close range situation.
Yeah, Max running around the corner. His only option for long-range combat is basically his pistol. Switching over to Duggan here. It looks like he's also having a bit of a challenge against the enemy team. Rory with a kill. Good job, Rory, over in the UK.
Nice.
Hey, you got the pigeon just running.
And they do have the notes, so they are going to be writing this one down. They have plenty of time left in this one, too, so this will certainly go down to points as we check out James's perspective here. They are going to drop that, and there are going to be players pretty much all over the place, and they do manage. The UK team picks up the pigeon. Can they get 1 point on the board? They're starting to fight back, trying to rally here, Destin, and unfortunate for James. He just
Duggan is
can't get
being
through that
defeated
door.
by a window.
Yeah, well, you know what? There have been harder things to accomplish in life, like sending a pigeon out
Oh, my goodness.
in the middle of battle. Yeah, this is getting pretty
UK
good.
team
There's going to be a
had-
lot around.
Oh. UK team had a really, really good spot for the US because they have to come through that narrow passageway, meaning they can just wait there for them to come over and wreck them.
Look at that.
Until that happens.
You see, and that's exactly what I was talking about with that hip fire, right? It can be so deadly if you're not careful. And the good news for James is that he has that health crate, so he'll be able to heal a lot of members of his team.
Not if that
But-
happens.
Actually holding a Lawrence of Arabia's SMLE, that is pretty awesome. That is the Lawrence of Arabia's rifle. Again, in Battlefield 1, you can actually get some of these, like, epic weapons from the, or legendary weapons, you should say, from the crates, from the battle packs. You can go ahead and pick those up in the game, so it's actually pretty cool. And does some work with that one, too.
Definitely. Checking in with the UK team. Krupa and Scrabbles, how are you guys doing over there?
Yes.
Well,
very well.
I think it's always better when America and England fight wars together.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with that sentiment. We're all for peace.
I am getting word that we are doing a server change after this round. That might give you guys a little bit of an advantage.
That would be nice.
We'll have to wait and see.
All right, so they do manage to pick up the pigeon, or the pigeon has been located, so they don't get any points. You say, I believe it just reset after a certain time. So now we're just going to dive right back into this here, right over to James' perspective. He's looking to do as much work as he possibly can with his rifle, and you know, for the medic class, again, you know, you
They
could
don't even
really
see
do
him.
some damage.
Oh,
Look at what he was doing there. But that Lewis gun, man, that is an awesome support machine gun. It will just absolutely shred, and it's a pretty darn good weapon to use on the run too if you know how to use it.
Especially, you know, he is playing as the medic class, he said. He is definitely wrecking shop. You can see him getting teammate revives, which is essential to success in a game like Battlefield 1. Be sure you're supporting your team and working together. I believe we just switched over to Max, who was doing his own set of work on the other team.
Yeah, you know, one thing you always have to be very cautious about in Battlefield is chances are, if you do manage to pick up one person, someone will more than likely be behind you.
Yeah.
So you always have to be mindful of that. You can't just dive into something because as soon as you start firing your gun, everyone's going to see it, everyone's going to know. But I'm liking that Max is going to switch it out here.
Yeah.
He's, you know, probably think about what primary options he could use. And I like that he is opting
Switching
to
it
go
up for
with a
something with
submachine
range.
gun.
Yeah. Definitely important. He was doing okay with the shotgun, but he did end up in a few encounters where he needed to, you know, shoot somebody at range, and you can't do that with shotgun, obviously. Right now he is crouched down. No, they got him.
Yeah, that is, again, when you're in the rubble, as soon as you get tagged, right, which oftentimes players are going to do, you can just go ahead and aim and click in, I believe it's with the left bumper, I want to say, and you're able to just identify and put put a marker over the person so that this way you can find them. Your teammate, your squads, everyone will see that person, and you can just shred them. I believe it's left bumper, but I kind of changed my buttons around, so.
You do custom mapping.
Yeah, you know, I'm that guy. And also the other thing too,
Well,
like
it's
I said before, I've
important.
been playing a lot on PC lately, so it's a little bit different on PC. So you know, obviously, kind of takes a little getting used to. I actually, fun fact though, I fly only with my controller.
Really?
Yes.
So like, you just plug it in really quick every time you get in a plane?
No, like I have it on the side, and then once I hop into a plane, because you could just select when you want to go into a plane instead of running up to a plane. I just select a plane, and then I'm immediately flying with my with the controller.
I think
We're good.
Duggan just picked up the flamethrower again. He sure did.
Yes, he did. This is looking good. Again, he has been pretty much on fire here, and that is not meant to be a pun, but I didn't realize that it came out that way. Only 14 health, though. Wouldn't matter, and that's going to do it again. Congratulations for freedom.
That is definitely U.S. victory. 3-0. Sorry, UK team. With that 2 losses in mind, what is your strategy for domination going forward?
I used the strategy I just employed then, where I switched teams and thought a little bit on the American team.
It's really not going well.
I've committed treason.
I'm thinking we just need better squad composition. At the moment, we're just kind of choosing what works for us, whereas I think maybe what we need is to help one another, like Army would. That'd be good.
Scrabbles with some legit strategy, talking about squad position. Krupa making the jokes. Krupa,
Treason.
Come on, man.
Treason.
This is serious stuff.
All right, you know, you lost twice now. Gotta step it up.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a game?
They know. They know the pressure's on.
This is real life. Okay, but yeah, overall pretty well done. You know, we ended out War Pigeons. We got to see some Flame Trooper gameplay, which Flame Trooper is super fun to use. When you guys see it, there's a reason why everyone runs to it and pretty much picks it up and doesn't let anyone else use it once the Flame Trooper is available. But
Great range, sets people on fire. It's a win-win.
Exactly, it could do a lot of damage. So we'll see how it plays out for them going into our next game. I believe we're going to jump into a different server in a little bit to see like what we have in store for us. Maybe domination or something like that. I'm hoping.
Yeah. Me too. Max, how do you feel about that last game?
Oh, I mean, I'm a mess, but it was really fun. I love this mode because it is like historical nonsense, you know? Yeah, I definitely was getting kind of sloppy with a shotgun, but I'm kind of, feeling out what kind of weapons work well for me.
Yeah, you adjusted on the fly. You actually switched it up to a ranged weapon. Very smart.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a bummer because I did play a bunch of the beta and I had a bunch of stuff unlocked that I really had a good feel for, and then I'm like, oh, I have to buy those again. So
starting all over on Xbox.
Yep.
What about you, Doug? And you were tearing it up with that flamethrower.
Yeah, I was feeling really good about that. I mean, the elite classes are just always extremely dominant when you pick them up. Even the tank hunter gives you a ton of health. Like, the damage is huge, but the health is huge as well. And picking that up twice was just a huge boon.
Definitely.
Not bad, not bad. You know, dominating victory. 3 pigeons sent out, 3-0 win there. So we're going to be getting ready here in a little bit. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing some more machine gun gameplay, right, from the assault classes. Again, provides a lot of variety. I want to see some sniper gameplay too.
Ooh, yeah.
That'd be really
You might
fun.
be in for a treat. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Later today at 4 p.m., it will be IGN US versus IGN Australia. That is 4 p.m. Pacific time. So if you want to come back then. For now, we are just getting set up and hopping into another pigeon, actually.
Another pigeon game.
Pigeon game. So we will have to see if the US can go 3-0.
Not bad, not bad. I'm with it, I'm with it. Here we go, folks. So trying to see, so we have
UK
actually,
getting
this is
away with
Lewis.
the pigeon.
Yeah, and I also want to make a note too. We started to see some support gameplay there, so that's going to be the Lewis. Again, a fantastic machine gun that you could use. Now this is Suez, and this map is really fun in particular. I've played Domination on this one quite a bit. What I really enjoy about this map is the elevation. There are a lot of just awesome vantage points that you could take that you could look at and really abuse if you're not careful. Also, these rooms, right? You can open the windows, and this way. And by the way, that was a tight fit. I don't know how he did that. Bless him. Oh man,
He had the drop on that guy too.
But yeah, so you actually can do some damage on the rooftops, but you have to be very careful. This is where a sniper could absolutely shred. The top left of the map, you see like a little 2 buildings there right next to one another. I've seen in Domination, at the very least, quite a few times snipers hold up in that particular building, and they shred anyone who comes down from the street on the right and also the side streets as well, like around the map. So you could, again, really do some damage here.
Max sticking with the ranged weapon, trying to get the feel for a new weapon type. That does take a little getting used to, as he pointed out, you kind of get into the flow of a certain weapon type or weapon archetype, and then you switch it up. So we'll have to see how he does long term, going with the ranged weaponry.
Yeah, this is the MP18, a great submachine gun. Again, it's one of the standards when you pick up the game for the first time. And he's also using the horns as well, which I do like the inverted sight that you could use in this. You can also customize each particular sight range, so you can go, I believe, for
Max
one
picking up
time.
the pigeon, yeah.
Yeah, you can like one-time magnification, like 1.5 magnification. So you could do that quite a bit and really get a good range with that gun and be able to pick off as many targets as possible. But good news here for Max is, though, he's shredding. He's doing some damage.
You were hoping that he would pick up the pigeon. He actually did there, and you can see the pencil slowly ticking around the circle to write that letter.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be very cautious of that. But they are going to be chasing, actually. His squad will be on the move, and there it goes. So the pigeon is going to be down. Oh, Max he thought he was going to be able to parkour that.
Whoa, that's a bad spot for that grenade for him.
Oh, man, look all the nades that were there. So now they're going to be taking that note away. And again, so they're writing the note at this point in time. It's not something that, you particularly, I actually have to see the perspective there, but I believe he's not like physically. No, it looks like he is physically writing a letter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks like he is.
When somebody else holds it,
I know
it
you
looks
can't
like
fire
they're
your
actually
gun.
scribbling the notes.
Yeah, I know you can't fire your gun. The whole point of it is that you're supposed to be indisposed, so your teammates are supposed to defend you.
For you.
Yeah, but look at this here, 3 people, and some hip fire is not a bad choice, but he tried to just send out a note to his squad, but it just was not going to happen there. Ended up getting picked off with the loading there. And off that respawn, see if he can be able to get to his teammates. Yes, they can, and they have released a pigeon. Will it get shot down is the question. I don't think so. And the pigeon has delivered the message. So they're going to get the artillery strike, laying down just massive fire any second now.
That is one for the U.S. team. Hopefully the UK team can keep it an even fight. I would like to see, a really, really close match today.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all.
There's another pigeon. Max doing work with the new weapon. I think the weapon change is definitely a good choice for him.
Yeah. Again, when you have a shotgun, there's only so much you could do right. You have to play a certain aggressive style. You can't just try and support your teammates. You essentially have to be the attacker. You have to be the constant aggressor. So
that's pretty good. A pretty good spot for them to hide, actually, on the other side of that sand.
Yeah, in some instances, right? Like if you have it for them here, for our squad. They should be able to hold it relatively well, but you're out in the open, right?
Yeah.
So you really need to make sure that you have guys who are able to pick them off, kind of like where Max is, right? Just angling himself in such a way where it doesn't really give anyone an opportunity to be able to push up. And so long as they just continue to move, I think something to kind of compare it to is like a obliteration or something like that from BF4, where you just had to, deliver that objective and move it. I think you just need to keep moving, right? So that this way you can ensure that your teammates are just able to defend you. If you stay there like a sitting duck, you'll get picked off really quick. And they've released another pigeon, so this is looking good for them.
All right, U.S. team definitely dominating in pigeon mode today. We'll have to see if the UK can get a pigeon off. I like it, pigeon mode. There's actually a moment in the campaign, spoiler warning, but you actually fly as a pigeon.
Yeah.
It's quite actually a sad moment.
Yeah, because it was like, I won't dive too much into it, but it's a moment where it's like a desperate time called for a desperate measure, and you kind of live through this moment. I tell you, the BF1 single player is like mind-blowingly good. I don't play a lot of single player games. I stick mostly to just competitive multiplayer, but I had a chance to play the two, I think it was like Mud and Blood and one of the other single player.
The intro story from the early access?
Yeah, and from the early access, and I was just like floored. Even when, because I played early access, or I should say the alpha so much, and when I got my early access, you go to that moment where you kind of like relive through people's lives in World War I. That was like really good.
The text actually says you are not expected to survive.
Yes.
So that's a really interesting mechanic for moving you along the storyline. Like you're playing as one character, then you die, then you start as another character. I really, really like that. I like how they tell the narrative in the campaign also.
Yeah, I actually, again, when you say I'm not supposed to do something, I try my best to actually do it. So I try my best to stay alive, and then I made it really far, and then it just got to a point where they just shredded you with artillery.
Oh,
And,
really?
Like, that was it. Yeah. So like
They're just like, all right.
kept getting the kills, and I kept clearing it, and then the waves and waves kept coming, and after a while, it just was like boom, 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 and then you just died, and then that was it. There was you had no other option. Yeah, it was insane.
In that intro area, I had fun like falling back, like into different cover and pulling the enemy toward me. Like I think it's called kiting in game. So like pulling them back and then just taking them out as they approach me.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Look at you, those advanced tactics there. And Max, by the way, is just in a world of hurt, and it won't matter though because they do manage to
Dead
pick
body,
up the
victory.
It's all-
Dead body's gone.
That's it. Good job there, and look at just the damage that has been done to the map there toward the end of it. That is what those artilleries, they really just shred the buildings. As you saw at the end there, folks. So overall, pretty cool stuff. Just a reminder as well for those of you guys just joining us, we're going to have 4 p.m. IGN US versus IGN Australia. So that's going to be going on at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here, IGN.com/live. You guys are in the chat. It would be cool if we could actually get the chat. I want to know if people are talking.
What people want to see, what they want to hear
they
about.
Just are complaining.
Yeah.
That's the entire time. I'm used to it.
One note for the UK team, though, they did have 10 pigeon pickups, so like they're not slouching. They
No,
are
they're not.
definitely going for those pigeons, and getting the pickups, just not able to finish those notes. It's the extra U's, man. I'm telling you, colorer. Come on, why would anybody do that ever?
That's just terrible. That's just terrible. Oh boy. So yeah, we're gonna see if we can. I think we might jump into another game of War Pigeons here in a little bit. Make sure you let us know what you think about War Pigeons. I think it's very important because it is a game type. It sounds ridiculous when you hear the name and then you play it and you say, "Oh, okay, this actually is kind of cool."
Yeah.
Whole point, sending out the objective to then just rain death and destruction upon your opponents. Like, I would say that is about what you'd expect out of a Battlefield game.
It's really fun. It looks like a lot of fun. I haven't played it yet. I've only played Capture the Point,
Yeah.
which is Domination.
Well, if you played
Conquest.
64 player, you played Conquest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoyed that. I got sniped a lot.
Yeah. You got sniped a lot.
I got sniped a lot.
You just
I
can't run out
am
in the
not
open.
impressed with my skills in this game.
You can't run out in the open. You have to
Can't run in the
always
open.
check your corners.
You can't get shot by tanks.
Yeah, I mean, think about it like this. Like, what would you do if you were in that situation? Would you run out in the open?
I would get in a plane and fly away. Fly to
what?
Canada.
I actually don't disagree.
Yeah.
I'll just go right to Sweden.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even care. Just like straight over there. They're neutral.
Yeah.
They'll keep me safe. Yeah, but like you just can't expose yourself, and you always have to tag. And you never know, right? Like when that, like if you see someone around you, if your teammates aren't tagging people, that can really cause problems for you. So like if you're out there playing with your buddies, always tag. Even if you can't get
It's
a shot
incredibly
on them.
helpful.
Yeah, even if you can't shoot them, but you have like a brief moment where you see them, just send your reticule in the general and just tag them, and you will be able to at least help one person down the line, just to give you an idea where they're spawning, how they're moving, where they're holding positions. All that stuff is just really effective to use.
So when you play Battlefield 1, do you play in a crew?
Sometimes, so like when I stream, I'll like invite some of my viewers to like come and play with me, or if I'm, or if I'm like I guess playing with friends, like sometimes I'll do that. But I think that it's one of those things where obviously you always want to make sure that you're rolling with someone, at least one person, to try and at least have some form of communication.
Yeah, to have that repertoire with your team.
Exactly.
It definitely helps.
Exactly.
Speaking of teams and repertoires, let's throw it over to the UK
What a
Joe
throw.
Scribbles, Daniel Krupa. What's your
They've
strategy
added
going
more
into
things
the
to
new
the
mode?
desk. Do you not see? They just keep adding things.
Just
Their
We've got
strategy
more
is to
support.
distract with
This
their,
is our main strategy: cheap props.
I love it.
can add fish and chips.
Oh,
Got
fish
that.
and chips. Excellent.
Oh,
I was wondering when those were going to come
You
in.
guys aren't doing the stereotypes at all. Oh man.
We're allowed to. That's the difference.
Yeah.
It is 5 p.m. or maybe 6 p.m. now over there in the UK. I'm surprised we don't see any pints. Where are the pints?
Oh,
we could have them, like we're just pints of water.
pure
Oh,
vodka.
okay. Okay.
Just a pint of water.
Guys, are you having fun?
I wouldn't say fun. It's quite humiliating, if I'm really honest. I'm hoping we're going to pick it up in the next match, though.
We
That'd
do
be
have
good.
a ringer. James Duggan is pretty good at shooters.
Yeah.
He's pretty impressive.
Is
It's worrying.
Does he want to defect?
Does he want to defect? We'll have to ask him really quick. Duggan, are you interested in defecting to the UK team?
Yeah, I mean, they're a very funny crew. They're really good at improvisational humor. Just kind of genetically, I almost feel. They're all kind of imbued with this immense humor. So yes, I would, but I'm not going
We've
to.
got a picture of chips.
He said yes, but no.
He said yes, but no. But he did
I've
talk
just seen
about
a
your
picture of
genetics.
chips.
So there was some discussion about genetics. I think overall, we're all really impressed with your genetics. I don't know what that even means, but
you.
Genetically humorous.
well, I mean, yes. So if that's what we're calling it now, no. But yes, yes, but no. To kind of say what James said.
They did try and sweeten the offer with all the fish and chips he could handle. No dice.
I can take some fish and chips.
Come
so.
on.
Yeah, I can go for some also this morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad.
We are working right now to get a new game set up at the moment. So, what is your favorite map in Battlefield 1?
Oh man, I think San Quentin Scar is it's my favorite map. Partly because of I enjoyed in Domination because there are some awesome lanes and some great locations for combat. Whether it's holding A point in front of the houses, like in the courtyard, B point, which typically is like out in the middle of the open, and oftentimes is just an absolute war zone, or even C point, which is by one of the larger residencies that are like located within the town. I really like those particular, like areas and how they like play out. But I also enjoy it for domination for conquest, because in conquest you end up getting the church, which is like absolute carnage and insanity. Toss a gas grenade in there, and you just see pretty much everyone scatter around. You get tanks that spawn in that location. Air combat on that map is exquisite as well because of the different kinds of options that you have for weather conditions: fog, rain, sunlight, all these different things. So it really is a well-versed and just a map that has so much variety to it. It's one of my favorites in the game, 100%.
You brought up snipers before. Is that your favorite class to play as?
No, I play mostly as support. I like to play everything, so I'll play like support because I really enjoy using some of the machine guns.
Very important
I'll
role.
play assault because I like to run and gun a little bit, play with the submachine guns, and do some tank busting. Right, it's always really fun. Medic is cool because you can get some cool like ranges with the scopes and whatnot for the different rifles. Sniping, it's like hit or miss. Depends how I'm feeling that day. And the thing is, sniping in this game it's harder because of the drop off into bullets. So they really did a good job keeping everything as accurate as they possibly could while still maintaining the fun of the game, which I thought was really important.
Well, that's part of the draw of a game like Battlefield 1, the skill involved to use a sniper rifle at long range. Like, you have to aim very far above the head of a sniper that's very, very far away to land that shot. And when you can land it, that's the reward that you get. That's that gameplay cycle of just like, okay, I'm understanding the mechanics here and how something like that works.
Yeah, and also another really cool addition to the game was vehicle classes. Excuse me. Vehicle classes. Again, it was kind of a departure. It was a little different. People were, especially people who play BF4 and Hardline, were kind of thrown off by it. But I personally think that the vehicle classes, especially for pilots, is particularly fun to use. I love flying in Battlefield 1.
With a controller.
With a controller, because I just feel like you get a little bit more with the sticks, right, than you would with, like, you. It's not saying it's impossible to fly with a keyboard or mouse. Many people do it, and they do it incredibly well. There's, I'm trying to think of there's one particular YouTuber, Ponylion. Ponylion HD is his name. Amazing pilot. Probably one of the best pilots in all of Battlefield. Love watching him play. But I like it in BF1 because everything was, there were no rockets, there were no missiles, there were no heat seekers, there was none of that, right? It was just machine gun, right? Pilot versus pilot, like true to form dogfights in biplanes, flying, whizzing through the battlefield. Like, it's so awesome. It's so fun to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I don't play very much, but one of the things you can do in Battlefield 1 is unlock guns. So
Yes.
is there something in particular that you would recommend maybe new players getting into the game, like myself, that they shoot to unlock first?
Ooh. Well, as you pick up your war bonds, you want to find weapons that kind of continue to cater to your playstyle, right? In the beginning, identify what it is that you enjoy to do. Do I like playing a more run and gun approach? Do I like sniping more, right? And just focus on that. But if I did have to give you advice on how to use your unlocks in the beginning, use it on your equipment. Your equipment is the most important thing. If you can level up and be able to, to maximize and get to the point where you can get, like, if you're a medic and get your crate, get your crate. It is very important. It could help out your entire team. So I would take advantage of that. But in the process, too, like, just play the things and all the stuffs that go to your play style.
Speaking of maximizing, Max Scoville's gameplay is up and online. We are hopping right into a game of Domination, correct?
Yes, this is Domination.
Got it. So here we go. This is the one where you actually have to capture and hold points. It looks like we're holding A right now, the other team's holding B, and it is going to be an all-out brawl. I love this jungle level.
Yes. This is, again, I think the variety in the maps and how it's laid out, it's just really impressive stuff. Now, this is their Argonne or Argonne. I'm not too familiar with the pronunciation here. I usually just say Argonne Forest. And what's funny is that if you look at, this is kind of just like an observation on my end here, but if you look at the detail and whatnot, doesn't it kind of sort of remind you of that the one Star Wars?
Tatooine?
Yeah, no,
Not Tatooine. Max, help us out here. What does
What's wrong?
Endor?
There you go.
I knew
Endor.
Max would know.
He said Tatooine. Just want to throw it out there.
No.
Anymore, Destin.
Oh boy. I deserve that.
You work for
I deserve
IGN.
that.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, but Endor. Yeah, like of course. That's just kind of like me being me.
Home of the Ewoks.
Yeah, I think anything that has jungle looks like a jungle-like environment looks like Endor. But
All I could think about was Metal Gear Solid 3. That's the first thing I jumped to when I saw this level. It reminds me, like with the buildings kind of in the middle of nowhere like this.
Yeah.
And all the foliage. That was the first time we really saw really, really impressive jungle combat. Was back in the PS2 era. Maybe we'll see some today. It looks like right now James Duggan is hiding to capture that point, and then he is going to go get into a little bit of combat.
Yeah, and they currently have a triple cap, so our UK team here will not be accruing any points until they're able to capture B, which they do manage to, and it is going to be 32-1. So again, they're kind of in a really tough spot here. You have our U.S. team that will be gaining 2 points every few seconds or so. Like they'll basically gain points quicker, I should say. Whereas our UK team, they're currently sitting at 13. I said 1 before, meant 10. But they're not gaining points as fast. Obviously, you hold 2 points, you just get more time on that board.
Duggan did manage to get the supply drop there, though, at the last second, so that'll help with his teammates, hopefully, if it stays. They still have B. Looks like U.S. has A and C.
Yeah, it's got to be a little careful here. You're going to be getting some of those split spawns. I've played this map like maybe once or twice, but if I'm reading that correctly, the spawns are going to be happening. It almost seems like, based on the layout of the map alone and how the U.S. team is playing this, it makes a tad bit more sense to continue to hold A and C rather than approach B and get that objective.
In my squad looks
And
like
in these kinds of game modes, right, domination focused game modes, it's okay to hold 2 points. I think this is advice for anyone who plays a game like this. Please don't try and push 1 point by yourself, because what's going to happen is you're going to disrupt the spawns, and when you disrupt the spawns, they're going to end up behind your team. And then before you know it, they're capturing another point because you went and broke that spawn location. So you just want to be very careful about that whenever you're playing this game.
So what should the UK do here? It looks like they got B on lockdown. Oh, they went for C. So somebody did go for C, and it's more than one player. It's going pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So now the tides are turning. This is a much closer match. It is 50-22. Hopefully the UK can get that other point and come back.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. They managed to capture C, it looks like, too.
Yeah, so what they did there, and again, was really smart, was oftentimes you kind of just like need to group up and then push as a unit, right? You can't just try and take an objective by yourself. Just as, you can sometimes, but it doesn't really work that way in Battlefield. This is where I'm a little concerned here for my homie James, because at any point in time someone could pop up behind him to his right or left and pick him off if he is not careful. Good news for him though is he is going to have a teammate there, and they will capture B, so they do not respond in time, and that is going to be a capture for them. And like I mentioned before, that crate is super helpful because it could bring your teammates right back into it if you're not careful. But I think they ended up destroying the crate with a nade last minute.
I think they're going to get B back here pretty quick. They just took out the whole team. Duggan's being really good with getting his teammates up when with the stab with the needle at the last second, bringing them back into the battle.
Yeah, and they are going to go after C here, which is a smart play. The thing about B is you look at where that A spawn
Central
happens, and it's too far. It's too far from the rest of the objectives. So holding A and C, as they were doing previously, could turn out to be a little bit better, and that is going to be not a trade, but still a pickup there, and that will be in the favor of the U.S. team, as the Regati does manage to find one, and that would be James who fell there, but still not bad thus far, and they should be able to get this one back here. They are going to capture C, the Abbey Ruin, and again, just kind of like the highlight here, just the amazing difference, the stark contrast between the jungle combat and then this really intense corridor-focused combat that happens at this particular point. I just think, again, it provides some great variety.
They have been managing to stay within about 25 points, the UK team trailing behind by about that amount. Hopefully they can get 2 points, pull ahead. What would you recommend the UK do in this scenario?
Well, I think they do got to worry about the challenge in front of them here, but I think James, he's coming in for those revives, and he's able to drop down a crate that'll keep his team alive. So this is going to be a really tough hold, but they are going to be spawning here. So if James and his crew do get cleared out, they will have to go right back to the drawing board. So he himself is going to be very critical in this role as the medic. So him going away from his team, I'm not feeling this too much, but if they're able to get a good vantage point, they can be able to pick off some critical kills here, able to stay alive. He has to throw down a crate, keep himself alive in this one, or rely on his teammates, and that is exactly what happens. They all push together on the right side, and they're looking to get control of this objective here. Not bad. This was a good take from James and his squad.
And they are taking B. The other team's taking C, though.
Yeah, and that's okay. They can
they're
go
kind of
ahead for
cycling
this flip.
through.
They have the point advantage, so at this point, it works out in their favor to just continue to cycle objectives. And I think at this point, too, you're going to have the UK team push B, and that's just going to give the US team the opportunity to push over to C and just get control of that.
So they'll just keep cycling through, basically.
Pretty much. You don't need to totally dominate them, especially when you're leading like this. You'll just win by overtime.
Attrition.
Yeah. Not bad.
I definitely, I like the look of this map the most, by far. It just looks really gorgeous. I can't believe this is running on an Xbox One. They just did such a fantastic, I don't mean to gush about the beauty of this game too much, but I am so impressed with what the team managed to do with Battlefield 1.
Yeah, no, me too. I mean, I've been hosting and doing a lot of things for Battlefield 1 throughout its release, and I've been very fortunate to do it. And every time I look at this game, I'll never forget looking at it at EA Play. Was actually where I got my first deep dive with the game, and I'll never forget playing San Quentin Scar, and having out my my Madrugana and seeing the drops of rain hit the gun. And it just bounced off with this very lifelike effect. Actually, just blew my mind away. All these little details about this game really are just so cool. And if you're just a fan of video games, there's no reason why you're not excited about this.
Duggan's actually kind of getting wrecked right now. Definitely. Well, I'll give him credit as team MVP, but looks like he's going to have to rely on his teammates a little bit.
Yeah. He has someone in front of him. He can actually go in for a melee kill if he wants, but it doesn't matter because he's able to pick up one. Someone else is going to be on the floor. Nice job there with the pistol. That's going to be a defense, and they are going to manage to hold this one down. So here's the thing. With the way points are going, the UK team needs to triple cap them and hold them in order to have a fighting chance to come back into this game. Even by holding 1 point here, they will win
They're
just
coming in.
by
Time.
just by time, just by
you
attrition
spawn
alone. They will
outside
win.
of C?
You have to shut them out completely at this
We're gonna
point
have
to
to
come
go-
right back into
actually,
this
yeah,
game
I'm
because
spawning
it is
right at
getting
C, so
too
let's
close.
get back in
They're
there.
about to hit that 90-point territory. I think at this
Oh, they might be triple gapping.
they might be, but they are losing A. So, or A actually is going right back. So yes, this is a very
All right.
strong possibility. They can't get the trip cap here, and this would be devastating for the U.S. team.
Oh wow, they're coming back quick.
Yeah, look
It
how
is
many
now
points they have.
within almost 10 points. The U.S. team is capturing C though. That
This
might be
is
enough to
huge.
make this a lot closer game.
Potentially, yeah. Now this is where you start to get a little nervous here. They're at 88 to 79. They
All right,
will
we gotta cap
cross
another point, guys.
80 in a little bit
Move it to
here.
B.
80 to 88.
There
is
you go.
Very close.
They haven't crossed that 90-point threshold yet. They are within spitting distance of coming
Yeah, let's
back
move
into
out.
this game here,
BBB.
Destin. And this would
Oh,
be
never mind,
incredibly
we're capping
hype
it.
if the
Let's
UK
hold C.
team
Hold C.
could come
Everybody chill
back
out
into
on the
it.
roof.
But it seems like
got
the
a ton
US
on the
squad
roof,
is going to
guys.
rally back. They
Yeah.
managed to
Everybody
take
stay
point
put,
A,
watch your entrances.
and they've got to continue to
Fighting
hold
over
down
C
C.
right now.
There
I'm gonna
is
snag it,
there
I'm
is
gonna
still
snag it.
someone on C. So you see that red bar there indicates someone's still going to be by
little
C,
bit far.
and because of that, they spawn on them. So they're actually going to get bodies on the objective
grab
again,
it.
and they are going to get
Right, back to
C.
C, everybody,
They're
back to
getting
C.
A as well at this current moment, and this is very dangerous. James needs to run in there, try and see if he can find one.
Oh.
Finds a double, but there's only going to be one more person, no, two more people left there because he is going to have another teammate in the room with him as well. So there will be two more people left
Old
for
C, guys.
our
Old C.
red team here, and I can't believe this is even happening.
Within 7 points right now. That's the only
right,
difference
cool.
between the two teams.
They should
They're
be
keeping
okay
it
now.
right at 7. I think the U.S. has it, but wow, what an impressive closing of the gap by the UK team.
All I'm saying is one very clutch trip cap here. If they do manage to
Keep
clear out
holding
A,
it. Everybody on point.
they could potentially get this one, and they have more bodies on C, so they are going to be losing this one. 3 points left here. James and the crew, they're going to get one. Have to be careful, though, not to push up. They do manage to lose C. 2 points remaining. If they can even get a body to A, they can come
Yeah.
back and win this game. I just don't see that happening. There's only going to be 2 points remaining, maybe one at this point. And, yeah, that is going to do
Yeah.
it. But, my goodness, what
Wow.
a close game. Wow.
Definitely.
Oh, and they're losing A.
Oh, they're losing A. No way.
They're
No
losing
way.
A. Oh
Okay.
my God, they're losing.
Wow.
Oh,
UK
man.
team, nicely done. I
Oh,
mean, US ended up winning, but wow, that was definitely impressive.
if they had one, like just 2 more seconds, they would have capped A and they would have come back and win the game.
Definitely. How do you guys feel about that one? That was a lot closer.
Yeah.
We're picking it up. We're running out of props. We need more stuff.
I think the main problem is my team don't really respect me.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm telling them to go for points, and they're just not doing it. So it's like there's a morale issue.
You're very
Yeah.
officer class. It's
Yeah.
You guys just
respect
need
is
more
a big
props.
issue.
I noticed the more props
Yeah.
on the desk, the better you guys get. So
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
at
thinking.
some point you need a life size, or not life size, like a to scale, right? Just Buckingham, just right in front. You know,
Oh, there you go.
Jesus
there you
Christ.
go. That might
Oh,
be
man.
the one that tips the scales.
That may be it. I swear, if you guys are able to win this next game, it is because of that right there. It is because Her Majesty
queen.
the Queen.
Duggan, what happened there at the end?
We won.
You did win,
what
but
happened.
it was very, very close.
Yeah, it was very close. That was I'm not sure how much the UK team was represented that fight, but those of them that were there did a very good job. Just when we captured one point, we seemed to trade with another. So very impressive. And Domination is one of those maps where you can be kind of your own worst enemy, where you think, okay, should we push B or should we hold C? And we made some calls that were okay and some calls that weren't that great, but at the end of the day, we came away with victory, so that's what's important.
Max, you guys were absolutely impressing. What was your strategy?
Well, actually, I joined the UK team by accident, so I think I'm sorry, America. My bad.
Well, you were absolutely wrecking shop there at the end.
I'm actually bad at games to a level of treason.
Well, you are going to get another chance to redeem yourself here in just a second.
Triple Agent.
Oh, man. So now we're going to be moving on to Sinai Desert Domination. So we saw War Pigeons at the start of the show. We're going right back into some domination. Max is on the right team here.
Yes.
Ironically, fighting for the British Empire against the British, who are
The IGN British.
the IGN British, who are the Ottoman Empire. So this has just become all topsy-turvy.
Definitely. We are back on the first map that we saw with pigeon mode, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
So sandstorm to start. That will calm down later. But looks like the enemy team is taking A right off the top, and our U.S. team is going right in to try and grab it.
Yeah, you know, just whatever. Do you remember that song way back in the day? No pigeons.
That is a callback.
Yeah, because I was thinking about No Scrubs, and then there was the male version.
I don't want no pigeons.
song as well. So I was just thinking, whenever I hear War Pigeon, it's just what I think of.
Ooh,
Maybe
dug
I've
in.
sullied the love of this game type forever. Go, he's moving in there.
Oh, nice.
Man, to the face. That was pretty good. Good job there. And what's interesting about the knife is you can't just one-shot him like, but you can this
That
time.
guy's-
Oh, man.
He had the drop on him. Nothing
Yeah.
he could do there.
Not
Trying to
pretty.
set up for a good sniper spot.
Got his dog tag, too. So,
Nice.
not bad.
But it looks like the UK is capping C, so UK is going A and C, which is a good strategy. The US is going to need to take A to come back, as you taught me in the last match.
Yes, yes. You know, I happen to know a little bit about this video game, of which I've been hired to commentate about. But yeah, it's just, I think the major thing to keep in mind when you're playing domination is working as a unit is the most important thing, right? As is in any battlefield game type, but in domination in particular, because yeah, you'll be able to take, flags by yourself, but for the most part, you want to be able to rely on your teammates to know, like, hey, we have enough bodies on this to flip this objective as quickly as possible. That's always going to be your priority, because one person on it, cool, you're starting to capture it, that's great, but you need to have multiple people on there, or else it will just be as slow as molasses and will take forever for you to get that flag.
Starting out, it looks like it is a much closer game. We got 17 on the UK team, 20 on the US team. Hopefully we keep it close throughout. Ooh,
Not going to
Max
happen.
just got sniped, I think? Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was going to be from the SMLE. So we saw the Lawrence of Arabia SMLE before on San Quentin Scar, but that is going to be an exquisite marksman rifle. So that is going to be a sniper class player.
Cap and C here really quick. That is definitely a good move.
Exactly.
And A, this triple cap.
Yeah, and we
they're
saw what
gonna
happened
pull ahead.
before with a triple cap and how far you can possibly go here. There is going to be one person looking to challenge Mazar Wireless here, but just now look at the points that they're starting to gain, and just really the way it builds up so quickly here. If you're the red team, you're very cautious about this, because it seems like there's just a lot of just craziness that will be going on here if they continue to let this one continue. If they let this one continue.
I mean, it looks like they did manage to get A, and the enemy team is capping C, so hopefully they can narrow that gap just a little bit. Running into the houses. That sandstorm should be dying down just about any second now, and ooh, now the enemy team is looking like they
Yes.
might get the triple cap to bring it back.
Go, Max, go. Yes, he's so happy. Now, basically, he has 600 rounds of just straight carnage that he is going to bring to the table here. No one will stand in Arnold's way as he just pushes through them.
And he caps A with that power weapon.
Yep, that's right. So in this particular case here, folks, if you're wondering what happened, so he essentially picked up. Okay, well that is a questionable pose. There, we'll just forget that one. I don't even have a response for that. I just don't even know.
Max is going to try and push B. Might be a little overconfident if the whole team's there.
Yeah. So you see how that spread, right, pops up.
Got a burst fire.
No, actually, it'll focus up over time because he'll regain control of the gun.
Oh, okay.
So you see how he moves slower, but those first initial shots he'll wait it out. So that's kind of like it gives you a bit of an advantage to be able to get a couple kills in there here. But Max is able to find one. He's only gonna have 3 health left here, so maybe he can pick up some health, have a teammate back him up.
Looks like B is contested.
Mega Berry Crunch. His teammate should spawn on him and should give him a health pack here.
There's a
keep
dude
him
literally
alive.
on his head.
I hope so. A boy can dream.
There he is.
Never mind. Oh, that's that one. Actually, I don't know if you could particularly heal that one. that class. I'm not entirely too certain there because I've again never had a chance to pick it up myself because some jerk always takes it before I get my chance to.
It does look like we are still 47-54. They're keeping it close. That guy fell really funny. I just wanted to call it out there.
Scorpion right there. Oh, goodness gracious. So they are looking pretty solid here, but they are down only by 6 points, and they do manage to have A and B point. So this is looking really good for the red team. Our U.S. squad has to bounce back, but the U.K. team, I'll tell you, if they pull off this victory here, they did it for the Queen. It just,
it was the Queen. It was the Queen photo that got put down. Krupa acknowledging the Queen.
This is amazing. Oh, goodness.
All right. Duggan going for the sport, leaving his teammate to die and dying himself.
Yeah, not much he could do in that case, right? He did have a teammate there to help him out, luckily, so they were able to still get that pickup. But, folks, I mean,
3 points.
It's a 3-point game here. I was going to say 4 because I thought it was going to go to 59, but they are going to get trip capped here for just a moment. So this is certainly not looking good. They're going to look to come right back into this game.
Something just happened
James.
to Max. We'll have to get him back into the game as soon as we can. But that is a good chance for the UK to come back.
Yeah, Max has been the force here. And this is it. Trip cap is in effect, folks. They're going to hit 80 points, and they're going to sail right through that. James and the rest of the crew have to make something happen here if they want to get back into this game. They are going to capture A. They will have 2 players
They're just flying
in the
ahead.
vicinity. Yeah, this is it. I mean, this is not looking good. They are able to stop the bleeding just ever so temporarily, and they're not gaining any points because that player is going to be on the point. They're not gaining anything.
Yeah, it's contested, so they are unable to cap A. They finally get A, but it is now UK is within 4 points of victory.
Yeah, this is it, folks. Looking incredible. I cannot believe it. They did it for Her Majesty the Queen. Only 2 points remaining. Is this going to happen? It seems like they're going to be able to flip
I hope
here.
so.
It is going to happen.
Yeah.
There's no way they stop it unless they trip cap right now. But even then, that's impossible. GG for the Queen.
Defeat.
What a time to be alive.
Defeat.
Oh, God.
They got their first victory.
This
They're
happened.
busting out the UK flag
It's all stuck together.
Well,
that they bought today. How do you guys feel?
Fantastic.
Modest in victory.
Like I'm about to have a haircut.
Modest.
I'm not going to glow
What's
about
that
it,
other
I'm not gonna go
picture
on
that
about
you
it,
added
but,
there?
You know,
Feeling all right.
much like the actual wars.
Yeah, you wouldn't hear the royal family gloating. They're just happy to be alive.
But we did it for this little lady.
Yeah.
I know the Queen. Who's the other lady?
This is Princess Diana,
And
Oh,
the young,
okay.
young princes.
and this is Bulldog.
And a bulldog. Got it.
Oh, dear.
We'll be
The whole
hopping
lot.
into another game here in just a second. Guys, good job on that triple cap pretty early on, and you kept it pretty close throughout.
I think we just kind of we kept it solid that time. We had more of an
Yeah.
idea. We're learning to work together as an army, and we're learning respect for Krupa as well.
Yeah, people on my team are actually listening to me for a change,
It's
which
nice.
I find useful. Yeah, so I feel good going into the next match.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely impressive. So this is IGN US versus IGN UK. Later today at 4 p.m. Pacific, we will be fighting IGN US and IGN AU. That's our Australia team. Looking forward to seeing that match. We are getting set up for the next game right now. How did you feel about that last one?
Oh, I mean, it was great. I just, for our British friends over there, what I'm wondering is, how was it to defeat the British Empire being British yourself?
It was hard. It's quite traumatic, but I think we knew there were weaknesses.
Yeah, well, precisely. That's it. We knew how to get under their skin.
Yeah. The
Nice.
first enemy in war that you face is yourself.
Exactly.
That's an original quote.
You're your
That's
own
all
worst
us.
enemy.
I'm glad
Man.
you guys hung up the flag on all that beautiful branding behind you. That's perfect. Definitely,
dominated.
we know that you are the UK team representing.
Yeah.
Someone
That's it.
just took a lot of time to build that set, and then you guys said, screw it,
All that
toss a
hard
flag
work.
on it.
We'd like to say sorry to our producer Dale. We thank him for his service, but
Dale's in the
frankly, this is
background.
more.
Ah.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations on your victory.
Yeah.
So it
Thank
seems
you
like
so
we're going to be
much.
headed over to Foul Fortress on Domination. So Foul Fortress is, and I think what's really cool about all these maps are just how distinct they are, right? Foul Fortress is a castle that
Yes.
is perched up on elevated ground, kind of like, like a hill, if you will.
fun.
And this fortress has a lot of really cool vantage points for, upper ground. But the really fun thing about this, too, is you can get in some intense battles on the ground because it's just open, right? And if you're able to take advantage and really stop them coming up the hills, you could do some damage. So
So if you hold that
it's gonna be
castle, you
interesting.
have a large advantage over the enemy team.
Yeah, now I haven't had a chance to personally play Domination extensively. I shouldn't say I haven't had a chance to. I've played Domination Foul Fortress, haven't extensively played it, so I don't remember where the flag placements are. I believe there's going to be one perched up in a hill. There's going to be, or excuse me, in a tower. There's another one that is going to be up out in the open. I believe that's B. So in the start of the game, you can actually full flank to the enemy's flag without being noticed at all. You just have to be very smart about it. So there are some routes you can take here, take advantage of, and do some damage.
Got it. Is this a vehicle map?
No vehicles. We're doing Domination, so Domination is not vehicle, has no vehicle-based combat, no air combat, no tank combat, jeeps, none of that stuff. It is all pure infantry combat.
Got it. Really excited to see what happens in this match. We're going to be going to it in just a minute or two.
Yep.
Yeah, so triple cap. Man, the points
It's-
really go crazy.
Yeah, triple cap. I mean, it's so I think, and we do want to remind viewers that on Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you guys can play against IGN, and you see how effective the triple cap is. So might as well take advantage of it and just triple cap the crap out of them. And I mean, listen, I kind of come from a third-party perspective.
Yeah.
You're here, you're IGN, you're clearly biased. I want
Of
the
course.
world to win. Okay, I want the community to come out on top. Of course, I want to get paid, but I also do want the community to win. So
That will be the community's opportunity to put up or zip it, so to speak.
put up or shut up.
Yeah, all right.
You put
I
up or
want to
zip
be
it, what-
softer. I don't want
Put
to
up
be
and
mean to
zip
the
it.
community.
Who even says put it? You just gotta just zip it and put up. Like I can't even with you right now. It's gonna be super fun. So remember, guys, it's gonna be Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here, IGN.com/live. But you can also we'll be announcing where the IGNers will be moving to, what servers they'll be playing on, and then you guys can go and beat them up. So it'll be fun. I wish I could play. I've talked so much about Battlefield, and I've yet barely played.
Maybe we can work something out where you can play on one of these fine monitors down here and have to commentate at the same time.
I'm not even worried.
Just to give the team a chance.
I've commented. Listen, I gotta get out of this blazer. Gotta put on my hoodie.
Yeah.
Okay. Put on my shorts. All right, and just and it has to be like I'm streaming, so I just have to have a giant microphone right here, and then I could play comfortably.
Even if you're not streaming.
Even if
the
I'm not
microphone
streaming,
still
I
has
just
to be
need a
there.
giant microphone right here, and then I could just play the way the Lord intended. But actually, it seems like we're changing maps. We're going to be going to Ballroom Blitz.
Okay.
So this is definitely one that I have not had a chance to check out yet. I've played a lot of Domination on San Quentin. I played a little bit on Foul. Played for sure on Sinai. I have not played Ballroom Blitz yet, so I don't know what to expect here. This should be pretty fun.
So it looks like you're in for a treat, as are our viewers, and we are about to hop in, actually.
Yeah. Players are going to be setting up their squads, getting ready to go. Once again, folks, if you're just joining us here, we're going to be playing Domination. So it's 3 flags you have to capture. If you're able to hold 2, you get a flag, you get points. You get 3 flags, you get a lot of points. It's a very easy concept.
Yeah.
Probably the easiest of them all. So
Similar to Destiny's Control or many
Exactly.
other games that have done it in the past.
exactly, it is a very standard game type, but very, very enjoyable. And this map looks absolutely epic.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap. I have not seen this map yet.
So it looks like it's going to be a little bit of close quarters. Not a ton of sniper lines from what I can see yet, but let's see what happens when we get outside of this fortress. Looking at James' perspective, he is in there already. Looks like the other team has B, and right here is where you're going to get those snipers. Okay, wow, a big open court area. This is our first time seeing it, so kind of just commenting on what we are able to see as we play it.
Yeah, and these are always really fun, right? Because in the instance of like where James is located, you can kind of play around the pillars a little bit here and use them for cover. You know, dip around a little bit. But that B point there is...
That's hard to hold.
Yeah, that is going to be a tough location. You're talking about a wide open spot. There are some cool little like, I guess you want to say like pillars, if you want to say, like statues and whatnot, that can give you some good cover, but for the most part, you are a sitting duck, especially as nades begin to pour in. So B is certainly going to be a challenge to hold here for anyone who does manage to get control of it. And the Flame Trooper has been located. It is going to be right inside of the hall, as a matter of fact. So it seems like James is going to be gunning straight for it.
He's looking for it. Somebody else got it, though, it looks like.
Yeah.
Sam better do some work. And oh, the whole enemy team is right outside. They are coming into a world of hurt if they go through that doorway.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, they're done.
Oh, and look at this here. James is just raining down on them. That is wonderful. Squad wipe in effect as well, and that will be in their possession. What happened there was, because they were in the process of capturing, they went for the spawn, and they ended up spawning outside of B. Typically, when you select a spawn point, it's going to pick you a spot in the, in a safe vicinity within the furthest objective that you have. It sometimes can vary, but in my experience, that's what I've seen for the most part playing Domination. Because you see, now these spawns are going to be happening over by C, so they're going to be popping up a little bit in those side streets there, and this is a big opportunity here for James to come up huge, gets a revive, gets a kill as well to boot. He's been on tear so far, but they got to be very cautious about B because it is being captured, and there goes a Flame Trooper.
So UK team is getting B, but they are losing C at the same time. They really needed to hold 2 points there for a while to come back. They are now down by about 25 points or more. Yeah, more than 25 points, almost 30. So they need to double cap at least and then hold those 2 points for an extended period of time to even this out. Might even be pushing towards a triple cap if the US team gets into the 70s.
Yeah, and just looking at the overview map, again, another thing I just want to compliment Battlefield on. A lot of people have talked about it, but that spawn-in map is so sick because it's all in real time. So you flow into the combat in real time, which is amazing. But taking a look at that map, though, it almost seems like the objectives you want to hold are B and A. If you hold C, right where James is, this is actually going to be where the enemy spawns. So because he's pushing it from this perspective, or from this angle, they're probably going to pop up behind him there. So at this point in time, they're taking C. Expect them to get a random spawn that'll more than likely be in the safe zone, and that was B, it seems like. And again, when you pick that random spawn point, it kind of looks like a shuffle button on the overview map.
Yeah.
When you pick that, it's going to find you a safe location for you to spawn in. And B, I can understand why it would be a safe location, because there's that open field there that you really can't get great angles on. So maybe that was where they popped up. But again, without much visibility, it's kind of hard to make that prediction. It could have been on either side, too.
US is triple capped right now, so they're just going to pull right into the lead. Wow. And that is it. That is game. Wow, that was brutal.
Yeah. Nice. Ballroom Blitz. That is a really interesting map. That was my first time seeing that map, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
It had some interesting situations as far as like positionings for the flags.
There's elevation, there's close quarters.
Exactly. Let's actually see with our friends over the UK here.
Oh, they look a little, there's some salt there.
Yeah. Production's happy again. Whoa! Oh my goodness.
No, not the queen.
That is
Let her
just
down. She didn't want to see this.
Oh yeah, that was a frustrating match for me.
Yeah, that was pretty poor. It's like fighting in an art gallery. That I don't want to break anything. It's really nice.
You're like, it's so beautiful. I don't want to shoot anything.
Yeah, I think arrogance got the better of us with that round.
Arrogance.
Yeah,
What
we
do you
got
reckon was
cocky after the last victory.
Infighting in the ranks.
Yeah.
This is no good. We'll pick it up.
We'll regroup for the next one.
Yeah. And
You guys started
hopefully,
strong. You used, the whole team ended up there on B, and it looks like you got wiped out, and then it kind of fell apart after that.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just proliferated across the map.
When things start to go wrong, we just run away.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
And then we let you deal with it. That's how we usually deal with these
Oh,
things.
yeah.
The thing is, in Britain, we don't really have respawns. Like you guys have respawns a lot. We just run, so to avoid death. That's it.
So they
It's
take my
terrifying.
strategy in Battlefield 1, just like run and hide for a little bit, regroup,
You guys are insane.
and then go back in. But they just do the running part.
You guys are insane. Was that the first time you guys played Ballroom Blitz?
I've played it once before. I can't say it went much better than the first time I did it.
Yeah, it didn't seem to help, Joe.
No, my prior experience did not assist, but it's there's too many nooks and crannies. I need to get much
Yeah.
better at
You were
scoping out where
vulnerable
I'm-
from like every
That was-
corner. It is it's a little scary to watch.
Yeah.
He's
right.
a very vulnerable man.
I'm so scared.
It's okay. You guys will embrace each other in a manly way. And there you go. Look at that. Oh, man. A little hesitation.
The most
brief moment.
awkward British man hug
Yes.
you've ever seen.
Awful.
But we have another game ready to go here. It's actually going to be Empire's Edge, which is another map that I'm like, this is a treat here. I haven't seen a couple of these maps, so this is super fun for me personally. So we're going to be going to Empire's Edge. More domination gameplay. We've been seeing a lot of that today. War Pigeons was fun, but domination is just my cup of tea.
Yeah,
No pun intended for our British folks
boy.
back home.
It is US 2, UK 1. Let's see what happens here. Looks like another beautiful setting, of
Defected
course.
Daniel Krupa over here.
Lot flatter. Like that last match, I noticed there were points of elevation where you could set up top and just kind of pick people off. And if you're capping B, for example, you're vulnerable from all corners.
gonna rush
And then
straight
A
to C
and
for
C
your
look a little
point.
bit more close quarters. We'll have to see what this map ends up
I
being.
think Krupa's on their team.
Pretty sure you can blow it up.
I think
Yeah?
he is jump ship.
Nope. All right.
Krupa.
He is
What
a
have you done?
turncoat over here. You're on the enemy. You're on the U.S. team. We noticed. We saw it.
D. Krupa, team captain of the US team. Wait a minute.
This map
He'll
is
switch it
another
up in just a
entrance.
second.
The irony there is honestly just incredible. I think it's basically Scrubbles versus the world right now. That's essentially what we're going through here.
Let's hit up C.
Oh,
So you
boy.
have not seen this map yet.
No. So this one, I haven't had a chance to take a good look at the overview map yet, the overhead. But overall, though, so obviously, stating the obvious, it is a fort, so you can expect some hilly type gameplay as far as like looking for vantage points are concerned. But also, in a fort scenario, you're going to have a lot of open spots, considering that. The way that forts are designed and all that didn't really lend much to the way of like pillars above, like on top of the fort. So you
a good
have to be
spot
very
design.
cautious about how you expose yourself. Maybe even pushing down low and getting around the opposition is the solution here.
That rock point, he was actually able to pick off about 2 or 3 guys there. Seemed like a good strategy until they got him.
Yeah, not bad at all. And there is going to be a
Downstairs area.
catacombs as well, or downstairs. So this is actually another good spot that will provide you a lot of cover to be able to run through, and just kind of regroup, right? Get teammates spawning on you, giving you an opportunity to be able to run out. They just need to, I think Krupa needs to lead his team to glory here.
Definitely.
Krupa left. Okay.
Yeah.
Did
It's
Krupa leave?
corrected. It's corrected, I believe.
No. Krupa is still. He's still on James's squad.
Oh no.
Is he? Can't trust him. He's still in James's squad. It's okay though. Max was on the other team at one point. So
Maybe
everyone's got
that's to their advantage. It looks like the UK is actually winning. So Krupa is sabotaging from within.
that was blame Krupa the whole time. What I'm noticing here right off the break is that there is a lot of open field, right? You can even see where Max is firing from.
Yeah.
There's that wide open
Higher
range,
vantage point.
and landing on rocks like that has to hurt. But
He had the drop
luckily
on
for him,
Jabba.
yeah, Jabberwocky, Tay-Low. Not able to stay alive. So they got to just pay attention for this next spawn here. They are going to get A right away. And as they make their way inside of the fort, they don't have much cover to work with here. They have to play their walls, right? Or you just go for the full flank. Pushing straight forward, that's going to be a tough sell. But it seems like they're opting to do it. They're just going right through the gut and looking to get in their face.
That seems like a dangerous move.
It's a bold move, Cotton. See if it's going to pay off. Get to use that at least once broadcast.
Yeah.
So, I try my best to just fit it in, even when it's not, even when it's incorrect.
Yeah,
Grand
that whole
scheme.
team is grouped up, though. The whole enemy team is grouped up in one location. I mean, one good grenade could get a kill or two. We'll have to see if they manage to push forward to that point they're working at.
Yeah, and just taking a look at the overhead, I like how spread out everything is. So they're really, you can go for a flank, but because of the way domination is designed, it seems like this map it's rather big, right? And that means you're gonna have instances where you're running around for an extended period of time, and you're not really contributing much to your team. And because of the way the points are laid out and in a straight line, essentially, you don't have much wiggle room with the size of the map, the way the points are laid out. Sometimes you kind of just got to go right up the gut or play around the edges of the fort, as we're seeing here. And you know, James trying to lead his shot, which was a really smart play there. Just keep that in mind. But there are probably going to be 1 or 2 people located inside of A, and he goes in for that bayonet charge.
But misses totally.
Won't get much out of that one, and will fall eventually. Got 80 points worth of HP on him, but still, that won't be enough.
Would have been really cool had he managed to land it, but he did not. Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time. So C is going to be in the possession of the German Empire here. You know, I have to say, this is a pretty good map.
Yeah. Game's fairly close. It looks like the other team lost A, so our team's capturing A. C's still being held by the UK team. We'll have to see if they manage to keep this lead, but a 20-point lead right now by the US.
That's right. This is looking pretty good. And when in doubt, take a hammer in a combat.
Yeah.
Hammer time. Go. Honestly, if he can get a kill with a hammer, I would lose my mind.
That would be amazing.
I would leave right now. I'd
You'd
go right
just
back
leave?
to work. I would get up. I'd put down my mic, my headset. You know, Jason in the back would be like, "Why is he getting up?" It is because he managed to kill someone with a hammer. Just, it'd be awesome. Can't get away from that gas.
Yeah.
And in that instance, though, just so you know, Max, you can always put on your gas mask to protect yourself in those situations. Unfortunately,
like
you
that.
can't ADS, though. You can't go down the sights when you have the gas mask on.
It obscures your vision, and it gives you some other challenges, but I really like that is an option. Like, you don't just die if there's smoke.
Exactly. You can always defend yourself in some capacity. But they got to be very cautious here because it seems like there were some shots that were coming through. Shotted. Needless to say, though, James is continuing on his warpath here. He's able to pick up Smohan 23. And they have B and C point. They have a decent sized lead as well. So this is looking really good for the U.S. team.
Still a 20-point game, though. I mean, it's nice to see that if they don't have too much of a commanding lead, UK team could bring it back with one big cap.
That was good.
Not with Duggan doing work like that. Jeez.
Yeah, that was good. He got wiped out from an 8, though. And that's good. Another thing I like that they added in BF4 is knowing how you've performed against other people in the map. So, you know, kind of get a little chip on your shoulder. It's kind of nice. But yeah, not bad.
Yeah, one coming soon.
Oh. Spawn right on the enemy team trying to push for C. That is what the enemy team needs to do. But they are coming up against a squad now because they can just spawn right on Duggan and help him out.
Yeah, and Duggan's aim here is actually pretty impressive. So he's doing a good job. He's leading his shots when he needs to, especially when people are running at a diagonal. It's just something that you always got to keep in mind because in Battlefield, you know, the weapons, most of them are projectile-based weapons. So it's not like when you fire your gun, like in other shooters, the bullet just magically appears and lands on
Look out for the
this
grenade.
person. There goes a nade, by the way. That is not looking good. But that is how, you know, that's just how the guns fire in this game. So you have to lead your shots. You always have to lead your shots to make sure that you can pick up those kills when need be.
Battlefield is known as the realistic shooter. So you do have to take those things into consideration. I mean, realistic to a point.
Yeah,
obviously.
it's realistic to the point of not favoring realism for fun. There are,
realism.
you know,
Got one.
goodness.
Did he?
He was able to get the hit on that, but not the kill. You know, there are realistic shooters out there, but I think Battlefield does just a really good job straddling the line of realism and entertainment. At the end of the day, it is a video game we all want to play and have fun anyway, right?
Definitely.
So it's the objective now.
So I see codex entries once in a while. Do you know anything about those?
No, I don't. Actually, I don't. I haven't seen much of that. I haven't used much of that, I should say. I tend to play a pretty simple run and gun style. So I could do a little bit more research on it here in a little bit, but for the most part, I think really the core of it here for a lot of these guys have simply just been straight up gun-to-gun combat, right? Especially for a player like James, who have been watching for a good portion of this game. It's just been all his rifle, and he's been doing work with it.
Yeah, there's a little bit more work being done right now, actually. I mean, yeah, this ended up being a much closer game, but nobody triple capped until just now. It's looking like they might get the triple cap right here at the end, but UK team did a pretty good job keeping it close. It seems like it is a lot harder to get all 3 points at the same time in this particular layout.
Working down. Can't lose here, guys.
This is not looking good, and you can see the points that they are gaining here. It is a lot in a really quick amount of time. They can gain on them and be within 85 points here, and maybe even come back into this matchup. This is scary.
He's contested.
This is
It is
scary.
now less than a 10-point game.
This is scary. I think,
And
honestly,
UK might tie it up right now, and now they're taking the lead at the last second. Duggan, he's down. This is going to be a huge comeback if they manage to go from almost being 30 points down to getting the win.
I can't believe it's
Focus on
going to be
holding
close
these 2
like
points.
this again, but they are going to be able to cap it, so they will gain on them.
It's going to be close.
Yes, they
let
should
them snag
be
C.
able to come out on top here. Should, but it will be 199.
They're losing C.
Ooh,
If they
Charlie,
lose
guys,
C,
Charlie,
this is going to be
someone's
big.
on
They
C.
have to get a body on C like right now, and they do manage to gain that one back. They are losing a 97-97. They can come back into this game here, folks. They can win
Fighting
it.
over A.
2 points
Oh,
remaining.
wow.
It's coming down. They will win. They will win just by having 2 points here.
All right, they might triple cap right here. Wow.
No, they
Nope.
flip it 99, 98, but that is going to do it, folks.
Wow.
It is going to be 100 to 98, and that was a nail biter for our IGN US team. But they
UK cringing in defeat.
not like this.
Krupa,
So close to swearing. So close to swearing.
So close to swearing. I didn't
how do you guys
sound
feel about that
professional.
one?
You know what?
What, sorry?
That was pretty close. You guys did really good.
It's
Big
very
comeback
close.
at the end there.
Were you actually on our team by the end?
I was still on the American team, but I was like a conscientious objector. I'd sat down in the corner.
Right, we're getting this.
Sabotage
What is?
within.
You have another prop?
Yeah. This is our commemorative plate
No.
for the Queen's 90th birthday.
No.
That's happening now.
That was
Where
gonna
are
be
you
the
people
trophy.
getting this stuff from? Are there just gift shops like right next to your job? Like, what is going
That's
on?
the trophy that we'll come and give you at E3.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
We're
We
going to
look forward
frisbee it
to
at Duggan.
To Duggan.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
The amount of times he killed me during that game was unbelievable.
So
It's
close.
just galling when it says foe 06. You're like, oh, come on. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you guys were down by a lot, but that triple cap came out right at that last moment and brought you guys right back
And
into
Joe
the game.
did so well. He went and took A at the very last second. I thought you were going to win it for us.
Yeah, that last A moment where I took out 3 people, sat on A, and then just watched us lose. It was awful. Sat at the corner of the map, willing my friends on. Didn't work out.
Well, good
Yeah.
strategy, you guys, definitely. Duggan,
Try.
Duggan and Max, going forward into the next round, what do you guys think you're going to do? Just keep winning?
The same thing we've been doing.
Shoot the other guys.
Yeah, shoot the other guys
Hope
faster
that
than they
the
shoot
bullets
you.
go at them.
Clutch it up at the last second, try and get the victory there. Sweat a little bit.
That was close, though.
That was really close.
That was a good match.
That was really close. That was a great game. That was a great game, for sure. So it seems like we're going right back into the Argonne Forest here for
I think this is
another
my
game
favorite map.
of domination. I figured as much because it reminds you of Tatooine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tatooine.
You know, it's not letting that, you live that one down. I just forgot how to say Endor for a
Yeah.
brief moment, even though that's bad. But I'm not under a microscope here at IGN. You
It's
guys
fine.
clearly are. Oh man. So
Right, guys, we're
here
supposed
we
to
go.
hail today.
But yes, I do
Focus
enjoy the forest here. The Argonne Forest. It's a
There's a bunker
great
today you can use.
map because it has
Still some cover.
just a lot of really unique ways to battle. Right, you can see the trenches and trench warfare in World War I, as many people know, was kind of like it was a staple of that war, right? It was where, I mean, a lot of just insane
Coming over the ridge,
battles
guys. Coming over
had
the
taken
ridge.
place. And in fact, a lot of people were concerned. They were like, how are they going to do a World War I game? Because was it all trench warfare? So it is interesting how they were able to really shine there through different modes of action. But still, I like this map because of the trenches and what it provides, especially on points like A.
Definitely. I like the camouflage element. It is harder to see your
Everybody, let's
opponent
hit
and figure
B.
out where they're coming
They're gonna
from.
be
So
coming
you
B,
definitely
so
have to
watch
be
out.
paying
You're gonna
attention,
run right into
marking
them.
the enemy when you see them, as you have said multiple times,
Gotcha.
and making sure that you capture at least 2 of those points. Looks like the UK team is fighting over B again.
Coming
You
over,
recommended
coming
A
over.
and C
Coming right over this
typically.
way.
Because
Yeah.
that B point's always going to be the point that you fight over.
Well, and not only that, but in this particular map, when we get a chance to look at the overhead, you will see that the B point is so far away from A and C, it gives you just a better opportunity to sweep back and forth and take out A, take out C, take out A, take out C, rather than continuing to push up on B. I understand why they're going for this. They think that this is like an opportunity for them to be able to trip cap and really be able to get right back into the game here. And I just have to also commend Duggan on just an incredible run. I can't even believe he managed to stay alive there. That is absurd. But seems like they are going to be able to get B. But while this action was going on, they ended up losing A. So, you know, yeah, you are going to get B, but still, it's one of those things where I feel like you just could have held them at B and probably been just as effective.
Yeah, they have a commanding lead. It is 54-14 for the U.S. U.S. is leading, but UK could come back. We see how much those triple caps make a difference. I mean, UK was down the entirety of the last match by about 20 to 30 points, and then at the very end there, they managed to come back and make it a one-point game, basically.
Yeah, very close games is what we saw earlier today, folks, and it's been pretty fun so far. Really looking forward to seeing what our Australian players can do later on today. Keep in mind that is going to be taking place 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. IGN US versus IGN Australia, right here on IGN.com/live. Hopefully everyone's enjoying it here today, as now we have Duggan looking to push up on A again and reclaim this territory. Moves in for it, gets the gut. Oh man, like a fish. That is just some good work.
Nice. There are still enemies there that need to be taken out, though, before he can cap A. Looks like one more is remaining. Nope, he's gone.
Yeah, they're going to get that. They're going to get the revive, so they're going to cap it even quicker. And remember, the more bodies you have on the point, the better, especially in those instances where you see that bar appear above A. That means that there are equal amount of opponents or more opponents on there. And this is a clutch opportunity here for Duggan. If he's able to pick off 1 or 2 kills, but
no.
He was in a really bad position. There was just no way for him to really get out of there without taking shots and revive his teammates.
Props to UK team for going in there on A and managing to take it over.
Yeah, there were 4 players holding that spot too, so they all got caught off guard for the most part. I believe a nade just ended up clearing them out at the same time. And here comes the trusty shotgun again for Max.
Not against that power control.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah, actually, if he gets up close, and that was a nice shot there with the trench gun. And he did toss that gas grenade. Another gas grenade. What is going on here?
Wow.
Oh, man.
Nobody was ready for that.
Yeah, those gas grenades, man, if you're not careful, you will get absolutely decimated. You have to be very cautious.
It happens quickly. You got to pop on that gas mask.
Exactly. It's there. Use it. You know. But I tell you, Max's confidence with the shotgun it's definitely endearing. He shoots it from sniper distance and he gets hits. I don't know how he does it. He does it, and now he just has
Rocking the shovel. Sometimes you just got to dig your way out.
dig your way out of a troubled situation.
Yeah.
So they have elected to push A, Max's squad, and he is going to be the squad leader, and that is actually another core mechanic in Battlefield as well that a lot of players just do not think about doing. If you are the squad leader, tag where your objective is, what you're going to be pushing, because you get more XP, you get more points for capturing squad objectives. So if you do that, you level up faster, it's better for everyone. So if you're the squad leader, make sure you're calling out the objectives so that your teammates can get those points when you do manage to secure those flags.
Especially if you're not able to communicate via mic. I mean, you can use the in-game commands to actually command your team to different locations. And if you, as a team member, manage to go there and cap that point, you'll also get points.
Exactly. So, again, just always use your tagging system. It is just one of the most important in my opinion, tools to have in Battlefield in general, whether it's 1, 4, hardline, whatever. It's important to always tag where
get out
your
of here. We
opponent
actually
is,
lost
what the
this
objective
plane
is, so that
the
this
other
way
2
you
rows,
guys
so
can
let's get
work
some
as a
kills here.
unit. 'Cause Battlefield's all about the team. But one person who's kind of been a one-man wrecking crew has been James Duggan, and he is just doing his absolute best. Hunk McChunk. Good job there.
C was contested there for a second, but they might get the triple cap. They're within 2 points now, though.
That is
I mean,
it.
it's a done game. They just steamrolled the UK team. The UK team's already looking upset. It wasn't even over. Krupa, you were scratching your head there. Were you confused about how quickly you lost?
That's unnecessary, isn't it? That is unnecessary. You're not playing.
We had A and C.
Fair
for
point.
so long. Really thought we were smashing that, and then I looked at the scores and just realised.
I'd like to see how you
no.
do against him.
Not well.
There is a
Spoiler
like,
warning.
someone's using your gamer tag, and there's something very nice about killing you a lot.
As most people do, if you see me online, I'm Destinel, and just get those sniper shots. I'm an easy target in Battlefield 1.
Oh, just want to point out, Hunk McChunk 15 and 5 that game.
Wow.
Not bad. Not bad at all. I have to say, quite
Destinel,
impressive.
3 and 2.
Good job, Destin.
Yeah, pretty proud of that.
Way to go, man.
Yeah.
Someone's got to hold the bottom of the leaderboard down.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like, and in this instance, it just happened to be you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I mean, he's accurately representing my skill level.
Yeah,
thankfully.
I feel like if he was like too good, then it would be questionable. And you'd be like, whoa, what is going on here? You know, do these guys have a ringer? You know, but not the case.
No, not the case.
He's being true to reality.
Yes,
Way to
definitely.
go.
We are setting up for one more round, it looks like.
Yes.
And then we're going to get back in for domination yet again.
That's right. We saw War Pigeons at the start of the game. There was, again, very interesting game mode. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out yet, please do so. You could do so in the early access. It's certainly worthwhile to play the game type. But domination, in this game, in Battlefield 1 in particular, has been very fun for me to play. I played domination quite a bit in BF4. I really enjoy infantry combat. This game was the one that really got me into vehicle-based combat. But the domination in BF1 is quite good in comparison to previous games.
I do like knowing, because the only thing I ever played was the alpha or beta where it was all vehicles, I do like knowing that there are modes with no vehicles.
Yes.
Because maybe I will fare slightly better
Yeah.
than my 3 and 2 as represented in the last match.
Yeah, you know, I think vehicle gameplay allows opportunity for folks who traditionally just aren't much of like, you know, I play with my brother a lot, and my brother, he's more of like a shotgun kind of guy, right? And he'll get the kills when he needs to, but he prefers to play like in those support roles.
Yeah.
And that's where, you know, driving and all that stuff can really, really help out. But we're going back to the Sinai Desert, and again, we saw this map and some of the toys you could pick up here, most notably the machine gunner, which could just shred through anyone if you're not careful. But we also saw this map snowball quite a bit last time as well.
Enemy team starting off right on the top, capping A and C. Our team is going for C right away, but they do have some resistance. Max doing a little bit of work there with his machine gun.
Ooh. Yeah, no, that was a tough one. He ended up getting flanked. Again,
Oh,
once
yeah.
you find one, chances are there's going to be another person there. So you always have to make sure that you're working with your squad to just stay out of the line of fire. But he is going to get picked up by Mega Berry Crunch.
Nice. All right, so they are capping C. UK team, slight lead, but now the tides have turned, and the US now has 2 points.
Yeah, so
They're pushing to A, it looks like.
They're losing B, though, so they need to get to an objective right away. It seems like Max has ordered his squad to push to the A objective. Let's see if everyone follows. That's the other problem, though. Right, sometimes
Nobody
you call for
follows.
the objective, and then no one follows you. And as it currently stands here, Max is by himself.
Yeah.
He
Running,
might-
he's lone gunning it.
I think Getchell might spawn on him here. I'd be surprised if he didn't. That would be a smart play so that they can work together and get A. He is going to have someone else near him as well. And in fact, 3 members of his squad are down.
All right, it
so
worked.
They are going to be able to get A, and they're all going to spawn right on him, so they get possession of this one. But in the meantime, though, because of this focus on A, they end up giving up C. So now they got to focus on another objective, and they're going to push B now.
Yeah, Max is recommending A and B. Interesting strategy. We know B is a point of contention in basically any hold the point game type. So we'll have to see if they manage to get it and hold it. That's the important part.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like going after C could have been a better call there. It'll be a little tough, but you never know. So
It does keep the match closer though, which makes it more interesting for us, the spectator.
It does, right? Maybe
let's
our
go
friends
ahead.
over in the UK can finally finally. They did win one game. Maybe they could do another to close out this day.
Duggan spawning into a whole crew of enemies.
All right. So they are going to get. Look there, right?
Yeah,
B
losing
and
C.
C look like if you're able to get control of that and force them to spawn on A, you can do some damage because B and C, as points to defend at the point, they're hard to hold.
Yeah.
Look at this wide open space here. There's just not enough room or not enough
cover.
opportunity and cover for Duggan. He's making good use of his prone though, which is always a positive, and he's looking around for that one player that was going to be lurking around B and realizing that he really just can't do it on his own, so he's going to give that one up. I'm sure that guy ended up having some teammates spawning on him, and a sentry kit has been located as well, but there goes, oh my goodness.
He had the power weapon, so not much you can do there.
Exactly. That MG08 is a nasty, nasty machine gun that will just cause an insane amount of damage on
I think the UK just basically said, you can have B. Like, we don't want B, we want A and C. But they have lost C. US is coming back. Now US has B and C, and it looks like they have been holding it for some time now. They are slowly catching up. Max being taken out by an enemy there.
Yeah, that was a tough one. You know, when you have the Lewis, you can run and gun with it, but it'll be a little bit harder. You have to get a jump on them. You bring the gun up to your sights a little bit slower, and the gun kind of takes a little while to set. So you just need to just be cautious. You can't really hip fire with it like you could, for example, the MP18, which is the gun currently Max is holding here. But they are going to get A point, so this is good. They're going to hold A and B.
And
I like
they're capping
this.
C.
Are they? Yeah, so this could potentially be a comeback for them here. A is going to be contested, so they are going to look to get right back into the action, and scratch that. They end up giving up C, but still, the pressure was on them, and they still have 2 points. So that was a great play there from the U.S. squad.
Oh, good time to change the perspective.
Nice.
That's the wrong guy.
He got that bayonet kill
3D3
that he was trying to get
is a
before.
traitor, I'd like to point it out.
Not bad. Not bad at all. But they are going to give up A and B now.
All for a bayonet kill.
That's it. It was all James' fault.
Yeah, James' fault.
Nobody else.
Come on, James.
Sort it.
Step
Step it up, James. So
All right, they got A.
Oh, look at that! Look at that vantage point.
Oh,
Look
and
at that
he's
upper
gonna gas.
ground that they have there. The higher ground can
Good reaction
be
time.
deadly.
Good reaction time reacting to the smoke. James popped on his gas mask almost immediately, keeping him alive a little longer.
Yeah, they really need to get some bodies above ground on the rooftops to try and give them some sufficient cover because they keep trying to attack A from the low ground, and they have held it down. But you know, when you get that, that rooftop control, it actually works out a little bit better for you. And there was someone in front of him as well.
Oof. He got 67 hits on an enemy there.
Careful.
Yeah, that's
Keep 'em
right.
on that roof.
44-44. This is a really
it
close
close.
game here.
U.S. team has not been able to hold a point or hold 2 points consistently. They've been kind of cycling back and forth. They are holding A and B right now, and that's why they're finally pulling ahead. But this has been a great match. UK team's playing very, very smart this time.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing here from the UK squad. Here comes, or from both UK and US, but James continuing to impress. He's able to find one, and I would go up on that rooftop, to be 100% honest with you. That's what
We'll
I would
see.
do.
We'll see if he listens.
See if he listens. See if he's listening to the casters.
Yeah, all right, so somebody's capping A.
Oh, hey.
Yep, and that's going to be an easy pick for him. Another one as well, right through the flag perhaps. He's going to run away. Not a cleanup, but he knows where he's going to be, so he can go in for the challenge. Probably has to check around this house here. And he's just playing a dangerous game of Ring Around the Rosie.
Oh, they're gonna. Oh, A is neutralized.
And he can't do anything with that. He was by himself, so had he had a teammate there, they probably wouldn't have been able to pick up Getchell, but it just wasn't enough. Now they get B and C, and if I'm the U.S. team, this is what I hold. I don't even look back. This is a tough road for the UK team to fight out of. There are multiple narrow walkways that lead to open areas. So if you are smart about how you do it, you get cover on the rooftops, and you just look around for when people come out of those alleys. And holding down B will probably be your top priority because it is out in the open, and defenders are easy to pick off as well as attackers when they're trying to push.
They're spawning in, losing C as they spawn in. It is 61-55, keeping it a nice, close game. Kind of game everybody likes to watch. Keep it really, really close, and hopefully they can pick up C here really quick. UK team doing quite well.
Yeah, this isn't bad. This is not bad at all. Very impressive.
Playing smart, but they're getting hit from the side there. Oh, Duggan spotted.
Need help at C.
Sends out that nade. He might be able to get one with that one if it goes off. In
Maybe.
a good
Teammate
spot.
diving in.
Don't blame him. Just sometimes dive into cover. But here you go.
Bayonet charge. Oh, that would have been great if that wasn't.
And the bayonet charge is something also for folks to remember as well. Once you enable the bayonet charge, you can't sprint for a little while. So because of that, you give up something very important, which is movement. In a game like Battlefield, that could sometimes change the entire tide of battle. But there goes a Sentry Kit, which is the item that James is going to go pick up here.
And he got it. Enemy team's in for a few extra bullets.
It is going to be ours.
Yep. That is the MG08. Here we go. And you can see that reticule. It starts off
He's getting hit from behind, though.
huge and then narrows down, but he won't be able to stay alive long enough. That was a pretty good play there to just clear him out as soon as possible.
4-point game still.
Wow.
All right, I'm going to hold down C. Are you guys capping B?
getting really
Or you're not
close.
capping B?
Yeah.
Too many there.
There they go again. UK has 2 points. US has 2 points for a while. It's now a 3-point game. Very, very close. This is one of the best games we've seen balance-wise.
All right, we're going to head straight
sure.
back to C as soon
For
as we
sure.
cap this, guys, unless they're pushing.
I think what's really awesome is that this is our final matchup of the day, and it has certainly been our
For
closest
IGN
matchup.
and UK.
For IGN US versus IGN UK. At 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Remember, folks, we're going to have IGN US coming back here again. It's going to be Max and James facing off with their squads against IGN Australia. So similar to our friends over in the UK, we're going to be checking them out later on here. Remember, guys, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here, IGN.com/live. The global battle continues. The war for supremacy rages on. Who will come out on top?
US just triple capped. That's going to put them in a commanding lead. It was a close game until the very end here. Hopefully UK can make something happen here at the end of the game, and we can pull ahead. They can pull
All
ahead.
right, do we have any-
They
I'm kind of rooting for the UK. Oh, no, that's it.
That's it.
game.
That's GG.
Yeah.
And a well-fought battle until that trip cap happened, and that will do it. IGN US reigns supreme, but it is okay because our friends in the UK did a good job, and were awesome to talk to nonetheless.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you. We don't really know what to say because we have run out of props.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
I think it was good all round. I'm happy with one victory that is below average, which is a very British way to do things. We're both equally good countries.
That does not come across through what's happened today. That's ridiculous.
Both equally good countries. Too close to call.
Yeah, actually, that's right. It's basically a tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically it's
Yeah.
Basically a tie, isn't
Why
it?
not? Go for it.
Okay, you go with that interpretation. Let's throw it over to James and Max with theirs. Guys, what did you think?
Good try.
Good try?
I
Yes.
still don't know what team I'm on, but you know, neither does James, so it works out okay.
Yeah, that was a valiant effort on their part. I'd like to point out they did lose a ton, but they were very close quite a few times.
Yes.
Very true. Very true.
Very entertaining games to watch. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to be here again. Once again, folks, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, IGN.com/live. Right here, the global battle continues as IGN US takes on IGN Australia. And I hope that they have props. Because honestly, look at that. Like, just come on. You know, that is wonderful. That was it. right there.
Thank you, guys. We will be
Made the
back
show.
shortly
Take it
at
easy.
4. Hi, everybody, and welcome to our IGN Global Battle, IGN US versus IGN UK. Later, we are going to be fighting against our AU team. Joining me today is Golden Boy. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, man. Super excited to be here, of course. We'll see how our competitors play out. It's going to be fun, though. Battlefield 1 right around the corner, so there's a lot of excitement, a lot of hype for it. And like you said before,